Hi, my name is Rose Picarello. I'm 23 years old. I'm from Staten Island, New York. I'm 100% Italian, and I'm currently unemployed, but I also do event planning on the side.
So Rose, how would you describe your personality?
I would describe me as outgoing, vibrant, I guess you can say, very goal-driven, and I had a reputation of being called Nosy Rosie. Nothing serious, but it just stuck with me because it rhymes with my name, but, you know, I guess it matches me.
And how did you get into baking and decorating?
My grandmother used to bake, so she passed down all her recipes to me because I had a joy for baking. And ever since then, I took it seriously and started getting orders and found out that maybe this is a niche that I have.
And how would your friends and toughest critics describe you?
I would say I'm very picky, I'm very detail-oriented, I'm very goal-driven, I like things organized, so all of those best describe me.
And what's your best quality and your worst quality?
My best quality is my creativity, and I also have a big heart, I think. And my worst, I would have to say worrying, just because I worry about every little thing, no matter what it is, so that's something I need to work on.
And what type of people or things push your buttons?
I don't like self-centered people just because they think the world revolves around them. I don't like ignorant people. And I don't like things that aren't organized, like I said before. I'm very picky when it comes to that.
Tell us about your background and upbringing and your past. How did that help or hurt the person you've become today?
I come from a big family. I only have one older brother. We're 100% Italian, so of course we love food and dessert and all of that. Of course all holidays revolve around it. My parents are divorced but remain close, and we all have a good bond. And I think that made me stronger because in college I became very independent and, you know, just made me who I am today.
Tell me about the things you excel at most in life.
I would say my event planning, just because I'm very creative in that field and I feel that it shows who I am and what kind of work I could do, and, you know, it just shows my real self.
How do you feel you react to criticism?
At first I take criticism to heart just because I think everybody does. You don't like to hear it, and sometimes it brings you down, but I believe without criticism there's no growth, and in order to grow, you know, you need feedback.
What types of people do you like, and what types of people just rub you the wrong way?
I love people who are on the same page as me as far as goal-driven and fight for what they believe in. I don't like people who try to bring you down, and, you know, if you say something about what you want to do in life or what your job is, they just try to find a way to bring you down and, you know, give you negative vibes.
If you've watched any episodes of The Next Great Baker, which cast members do you most relate to and why?
I would say Dana, just because he was a team player and he did what he had to do first, made sure all his stuff was done, but also helped anybody that needed help. As far as personality-wise, I would say Karina, just because she fought for what she believed in and she never let anybody knock her down, and, you know, she was real as they could be.
Do you feel your skills are better than the previous contestants?
I wouldn't say they're better, just because I'm a self-taught baker and they probably all have the professional experience, but I would say that when I put my mind to my designs and my creation, I could probably be up to their level.
Tell us about your food industry experience.
I don't have any food industry experience just because I'm self-taught. I worked in a hotel. That's the only food that, you know, I've seen and dealt with. But other than that, I'm a self-taught baker, and, you know, like I said, I have no professional experience.
Do you have cake decorating, baking, or pastry experience? And how long have you been baking and decorating?
I don't have any experience. I actually taught myself. I used to bake just for fun, just because it was a hobby. And then once decorating got famous, I guess you could say, then it really took my interest and it just evolved from there.
Is there a specific genre of food, desserts you like to bake or cook?
I love desserts. I think my favorite thing to bake would probably be strawberry shortcake, just because it's my favorite dessert of all time. But I also love to bake, cupcakes, and, struffelas are actually a family recipe, so I like to do that. So those are probably my favorite things too.
Are you creative in the kitchen? How elaborate and creative are your designs when baking?
I am creative in the kitchen. I think my personality explains it. I loved out-of-the-box stuff just because I don't like to be on the same page as everybody. I like to be unique. I do love clean work, I have to say. I don't like things overly decorated and, too tacky. I think simple is classy.
Tell us any interesting details about yourself or anything that makes you stand out.
I would say...
any hobbies or talents or interests?
Event planning is probably my biggest hobby, and I guess / job you could say, just because like I said, it just shows my creative side, and that's who I am as a person. My mother used to do it, so I followed in her footsteps. And I love dancing. I was a dancer for about 12 years. And other than that, that's basically my two hobbies.
What is your favorite topic of conversation in a social setting?
My favorite topic of conversation, I would have to say anything with food, just because I love food. I also love the pop culture, I guess you could say. I am, obsessed with the Real Housewives of New Jersey, New York, Orange County. I think any girl wouldn't be obsessed with those kind of shows, just to see what drama goes on.
And where did you get your recipes? And how did you put your own personal twist on them?
I got my recipes, some of them I would say from my grandmother, family recipes they passed down. Others I would say TV and websites. That's where I basically get all my recipes from.
And how would you rate your skill level, beginner, average, or expert when it comes to baking?
I would say average, just because I'm pretty good for, a self-taught baker, I would say.
And decorating?
Decorating, I would say average also.
And pastries and desserts?
I would say average too.
And how would you rate your decorating skills when under time constraints? I get it done quickly, not a problem. I tend to take my time no matter the constraint. I get stressed out and often don't finish.
I would say I get it done quickly without a problem, just because for some reason I'm very fast-paced. I don't know why, but I do get clean work done in a short amount of time, I would say.
And are you usually happy with the end result?
I am happy for the most part with the end result, just because the vision that I have, it's, for some reason turns out different and it actually becomes better. So I guess that's,
What in your opinion makes a great cake baker decorator?
I think a great cake decorator would be somebody who thinks out of the box, somebody who comes up with unique things and creations just because they don't follow what every other person's doing. Somebody who's hardworking and dedicated to their work.
And what makes a bad baker decorator?
I think a bad decorator is somebody who's lazy and doesn't take pride in their work.
How do you think you'll handle quick-fire type challenges and working in a group for bigger challenges?
I think quick-fire challenge would be good. Usually, who wouldn't get nervous when a challenge is thrown at you? But once I'm thrown it, I'm very focused. And I think group challenges would be a challenge, just because, I don't know who I'm competing against.
And what kind of role do you generally play in groups?
I would say the organizer. I would separate everybody into their strengths. If somebody's, strong in baking, I would put them in charge. Strong in decorating, I would put them in charge of that, and just work as a team in that sort of way.
Are you competitive in nature?
I am very competitive in nature.